We can go anytime you're ready.
Go ahead, Mr. McIntosh.
Good evening. I'm Jerry McIntosh, and this is Our Voices, the People's Media. Tonight, we're addressing the SNAP program and other hot topics tonight. But first, we'll go to our host, Mr. Derek Scott, who is the chair of the Escambia County Democrat Party. Have with us Christine Forbes, who is working in the Democrat Party over in Santa Rosa County, and Mr. Vernon Watson, where you'll be watching this program on WBQP TV, Roku, Fire Stick, and YouTube, and of course, our Facebook pages. Go back to you, Derek. Is Jill off tonight?
No, she said that she's going to be about 20 or so minutes late, so she will join us temporarily. But we will go ahead and get started and say good evening to everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. I want to go ahead and we'll do our normal roundtable, and I will kick it back over to you, Mr. McIntosh. Please tell us what you have to share.
Just want everybody to know we Move for Change is doing an annual membership drive starting this month. Our fees are $35 a year. We will be happy to have you join us. As you know, you're going to need Move for Change and other organizations more now than you ever have since the 60s. And we are hoping that you will join us, become a part and activist with us in making sure that we are trying to do our best to save this democracy and ourselves and the future of our children and generations yet unborn. So we are working on that. Also, we have a fundraiser coming up. It's called Jazz for Justice fundraiser. That's sponsored by Moving for Change. It features Marcus Adam, who is a saxophonist. That's Sunday, November the 16th. It's $40 per person. The doors open at 4 o'clock, and it's at personal venue at 2610 West Cervantes Streets. You can call at 850-377-4692, or you can call me at 850-206-3776. Or you can call Move for Change office at 850-432-4411, or any of the members that you know that have, and all our members will have tickets for board members. So be sure to come in. We will have food served during the social hour from 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. Hopefully everybody get there on time so they can have nice feast and then enjoy some great jazz and helping us with our fundraiser. As you know, we've been down there painting the office, trying to make everything inviting so that people will not mind coming and volunteering and making sure that we have the kind of programs and staff that we need to make things happen and make sure that we are registering people to vote or encouraging people to register and vote, and also encouraging people to become more active in our community. And I give it back to you, Derek.
Okay, thank you very, very much for that. Mr. Vernon, do you have anything for us today?
Wait a minute, unmute here. Okay, yes, I do. I got a couple of things. I just want to remind the folks of the MLK parade that is coming. I'm sorry. Let me get in the correct order. The Veterans Day parade is coming up on November 11th. And so anybody want to participate in that parade, just go ahead and get registered now. Go to the website or call anybody that associated with the GAVCC, and you can get registered for that parade. Going to be November 11th on Tuesday, November 11th. And also, in addition to that, after the parade at 3 o'clock, the Chapter James, the Chapter James Museum is also having an event at 3 p.m. On November 11th. So you might want to join that. They're going to have something they call Seven Stars. Okay. Yeah. So that has to do with they're going to honor Chapter James and his son. You know, Chapter James was a 4-star general, and then his son was a 3-star general, and so they call the event Seven Stars. So that will be as well on November the 11th. Also on November in January, the MLK parade is coming up, and they are registering now if you want to be a part of the MLK parade 2026. So, and there also has been a slight route change as well for the MLK parade. It's not going to go through downtown Pensacola because they're having this renovation for the streets down on, but it's going down eventually going instead of going down Palafox, it's going to go down Jefferson this year. And I mean in 2026. Okay. Mm-hmm. And now, Jerry, the other last thing I want to kind of mention that people may and may not know about, you know, that WRNE had a ownership change in it, and so Hill's last day on the air was this past Friday. Right. And so I'm going to be sitting in for this from the, you know, the 6 to 9 a.m. morning show next week. I don't know what's going to happen thereafter, but whether or not that Hill in the morning show format will remain or whatever. But I do know next week I'll be sitting in for that. So they are going to have some different format changes and so forth. And I hope it's not too far different from what we already have, but you can look forward to that. I think that's it on my end. Eric, you looking mighty.
That was no, I was just trying to figure out, you know, I wanted to say I'm happy for, I guess I'm happy. If Mr. Hill is happy, then I guess I'm happy. But I will say that the radio show and the ability to reach the community, or not having that, is going to be a loss for Pensacola and our community specifically. I know I can always pick up the phone and call Mr. Hill if I needed to talk about something or get people to know to check their voter registration status or whatever the case may be, or know what's happening. He was always a great conduit to have to reach that folks in real time that day, you know. So to see that that's not going to happen, you know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I just know it probably won't be as easy to pick up the phone and call, you know, as you used to the 479 number, you know. It'd be a little different.
All I can tell you now is that the community might want to make their voices heard about what they want out of their radio station before any final decisions are made. Because I know there are some on the drawing board that may not align with what we used to. Okay. Right. And so we're used to a community station. And so the number's still the same. If anybody got any concerns, just call the 478-6000 number and let your voice be heard. And maybe they can hear it from the community, because the buyers, you know, are not in towners, so they're out of towners. And so even though I know one of the owners moved here, but if you don't have your voice heard, they may not hear you. Okay, so that's all I can say right now. So I don't know what the real, you know, everything that holds for the future, but but it's gonna be called Cool 93.7 and Cool 980 as opposed to Choice. Okay. And so, and the owners are good people, but I don't know, you know, I'm not sure exactly their intent. Half and half.
Are you saying half black or one's black and one's not? What do you mean?
One is black and one is not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it gonna be cool KOOL or COOL?
I think it's as far as I can tell, I think it's COOL.
Yeah.
COOL, yeah. And I think some of what I've been getting in the, from the community, on Saturdays, it was set out for blues and Southern soul and so forth. And so the changes so far, from you remember we had the blues man on and up
Mm-hmm.
until we get to the blues hound, that has been replaced with hip hop from 6 to 10 on Saturday mornings. And
Oh no.
so I come on, my show is still there so far. But
Uh,
I get the calls about why am I on the right station and that kind of stuff and why hip hop. And so you got to understand this station, the people are just so used to the same format that we've been doing for the last 35 years now. And to make some changes, they probably are concerned. So all I can say is that let your voice know. I think they got good intentions, and they probably want to hear from them. But I know with any new owners, they got their own ideas of what they want, and they think they're good for the community. But if you wanted to continue to be a community station like we had it, so I think that you might want to let your voices be known.
so we gonna talk to you on the back end so we can find out who the people are, so we can tell them, so we can sit down with them, because otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, I can tell you what the vote. Like I say, the number is the same. Call the number, you reach them. The 478-6000 numbers, and but yeah, I can give you the folks on the back what who to contact if you're interested in, and contact them about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
But anyway, go ahead, Jerry.
I was gonna say I sure would like to contact them as from the point of view of an organization that what we are looking for from the station to continue to be a voice in the community or information that to the community. So yeah, I definitely want to talk as much in there, as not only as the chair of the Democrat Party, but the coalition. You can speak for the coalition.
Yep. Yep.
And we get Ellison Bennett to speak and others to say, that we want the radio station to continue to feed the minds of the people with good information. Hip hop you can get anywhere. And who cares anyway?
Yeah, because this station has been for certain demographics, and but like I said, I don't, I'm not, I don't know what the ultimate, intent is, but all I do know is his last day was Friday. He sold the station, so the new owners got it. They are going to make some changes, and the changes that they're going to make, and then they already have made some changes. I think Jerry knows some of the talk shows that y'all had. A lot of that has
gone.
Yeah, right now. So
Ben Hill used to
So
talk.
we won't be hearing. So we won't be hearing from you, Mr. McIntosh, or Fred doesn't have his show. Fred Gant, they don't have those anymore.
I think they, those paid talk shows probably going to remain because they on the contract. I'm assuming. And
who has a paid talk show? Oh, I was thinking like the segments, like those hours. Didn't you, Mr. McIntosh? Didn't you have a segment at one point that you did?
Well, I was on with Robert on Tuesday and Thursday, every Tuesday and Thursday.
Right.
Well, from 8 to 9.
Right, and then Fred was on Wednesdays, right?
On Wednesday. Yeah.
So
But
you're saying those? Are you
but
saying
those,
those?
yeah, those are a lot of some of those are paid. Jerry, I think was not paid, but
Uh-huh.
Fred, like Fred and so forth. Some of those talk shows are paid talk shows.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah. Meaning they get paid for it, or they are paying to do it.
they're paying to do it. To
Oh,
promote
okay.
to
That's
promote the
okay.
business. Yeah, yeah. And it's
That's-
it's
Rich man,
income.
just why you got left out? You didn't get a check. Oh, but if you say you had to
No,
pay,
no, no.
No, no, I was,
You
I
hear
was
me? They are paying.
oh, wait
The
a minute
customers
now.
are paying.
no,
Okay, okay,
Fred them is
Fred is
paying.
paying. Yeah, they're paying.
Yeah,
oh,
Fred
The
them is
customers.
paying for the
Yeah.
show.
okay, okay.
They
Uh,
not
you
only have talk show, but they also got commercials running with them in the whole 9 yards.
Right,
mm,
right,
Yeah.
right.
So,
And another
but
thing you said the parade route for 2026 is changing.
hmm
So it's going to be in essence shorter than right now, because you're saying it's going up Jefferson.
you're
Because we
going
make
down.
that, I mean, down Jefferson. I would assume you would make that loop up Halifax.
Yeah,
You
you
know how
are
you
going to
go
make.
up,
Yeah,
then down, then you wouldn't go over and then go down Jefferson. So you're just going to go straight down Garden to Jefferson, right?
no, we're gonna still make that loop.
Oh,
The
Lord.
loop.
So it's going to be longer. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the loop is not gonna be any longer than what it used to be.
Yes, it is. Because you still got,
Jefferson is no
well,
longer than Halifax.
short, it's a short block, but you still got to walk the block. Once you get down back to Garden, you then got to walk to Jefferson, and then you got to go down Jefferson. That's a longer. That's
Well,
an extra.
maybe so, but that's the plan as of now. Anything
Oh,
might change between now and January, but that's the city plan. If they continue with the construction that they're going to do. So
mm,
Jefferson down. I mean, go up Palafox, make the loop, come on back down, make a slight left turn, then a right turn, go down Jefferson. That's the way it's
all
scheduled
right,
for now.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
let's just hope that it doesn't snow
Well,
again.
we're glad it just existing now because in today's given time, we were a little worried about whether or not we're gonna be able to have an MLK parade. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm. Yeah,
I guess we count our blessings.
yeah,
But at
we
any rate,
do.
it's still not too early to it's still not too early to register. And I encourage people to go ahead and register now because one of the things that we people don't understand about these parades, they're expensive. They have to be paid for, and we have to pay a lot of money. We got the insurance to pay. We have to pay the to use the streets. We have to pay to have barriers put up. We have to pay to have bathrooms put in. I mean, the porta potty. Have to pay for everything. And
yeah.
the problem when people wait to the last minute to register because we use that money to pay for all those things. Okay, and it's not a money making venture. If we break even, we're great. We're doing good. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to be in the parade, just go ahead and register. And even if you don't pay it immediately when you register, at least we know your intent, and we can count that money we can at least count it towards it whenever it is paid. So a lot of stuff comes and goes with that parade that we want folks to kind of help us with, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Vern, nobody has really explained to the people like you just explained
Mhm.
what it entails to put on that parade and the cost and why. Because people are always saying where the money go.
Yeah,
All that money but you just explained, and I think that need to be detailed in the present. When the people come get their application to register for that, so that they'll know that it's a cost that go along with it. There's insurance, there's porta potties, there's street, security, everything else, and that costs money, and people need
yeah.
to know that it's an extreme amount of money to do the Martin Luther
All right. And
King.
then we got Jared. And speaking of that, and I guess folks think that they do it for free, but nothing is free. The city used to provide for free to putting up the barriers. Okay, so
Right.
that's a new $2,000 fee that's been added for 2026 that
Hmm.
we're gonna have to pay. And
Hmm.
the reasoning for it, well, the city's saying it takes because they still got people on payroll. to come and do all that, and it costs so much money. But their rationale is that, well, you guys is just one parade. We have 5 or 6 parades, and it takes upwards of $100,000 to do those things. That what they're saying, and so I understand from their point of view, but all I'm saying is now we got more additional costs, to the parade that we didn't have before. But people don't understand a lot goes into putting on the parade. And I have to take my uh, Mike Keenan had to take and a lot of times, you know, a lot of things. Some people are just unsung heroes, and Mike Keenan is one of the unsung heroes because what he used to do, okay, if that was a shortfall, he go in his own pocket and make up the difference. Never complain about it, okay. But we don't have to do that. But we make enough to at least break even. That's the only thing we're concerned about because we ain't concerned about making money on it. We're just concerned about making sure that the bills are paid at the end of the day. And so far so good. But we do have some additional expenses that we hadn't had before. So we want to make sure that people,
I know, and I know Mike Keenan don't like like going on programs and all. Like I would hope that he would because we need they need to break down what it costs to put on the parade. Just at least people need to know what it is that it entails, and that for years that has not been, I don't think, explained to the people like you have just explained it out, because there's a lot of things that I knew it cost to put on the parade, but I didn't know all the details behind it, and what it like I say, what it entails, because it's I know it's expensive.
Yeah, yeah. And
That
well, you're probably not gonna get Mike to get in front of nobody's camera to
I
talk
know,
about it. But
I know.
I'm just here. If nobody ever said it before, I'm saying it. I'm just telling you now what it costs because I didn't realize. I knew it could be a cost. I didn't realize to the extent of the cost until I got personally involved with the parade,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of expenses. When you stand around, even with the golf carts, they have to rent those. They have to rent
right,
walkie-talkies. They have, and then we just got, and then another thing too, while I'm on the air, when I'm soliciting, we need volunteers. We need volunteers to help put on, to help get the parade put on, and to help
right.
people guide them and set up and get the folks out. So we need just as many volunteers to do that if they will. And so get a hold of Mike or anybody with the parade, and we'll be glad to uh, get your help. And also the same thing for the Veterans Day parade. It's the same scenario. We go through the same thing.
Mhm.
We have to pay for the same kind of thing. And you would think, Jerry, talking about you would think we pay taxes and you think you can use the public streets, but you can't. We have to pay L30 just to use the streets. Okay, we have
Right.
to pay for to have so many policemen there. We have to pay to have ambulance there. Okay, which are required. We have to pay, to have the fire department, EMT, all that stuff. Everything it comes with a cost with it, and so that's where the money goes.
And, when you're on Saturdays and whenever,
Mhm.
and I know you're gonna be on now during the week, people need to hear what you are saying now on the radio as well as what we're doing now here on our voices.
Okay, yeah, I can repeat some of that stuff, like you said about the parade, because a lot of folks didn't realize the didn't know the cost of it. They just take it for granted. But
Right.
yeah,
Well,
Because
thank
I
you,
didn't know
Mr.
the
Bunn.
extent. Yeah, I didn't know the
Yeah.
extent of the cost of the parade. I know it cost to put it on, but I didn't know all of the different programs that goes into it. I guess
yeah,
all of
yeah.
the
I
different.
know Cheryl used to do a great job of breaking down, all the expenses that are entailed with just the parade alone. So it was I get it. I absolutely get it. Get it. Mhm. It's a lot of stuff. Well, just to let you know, Mr. Vernon, we did send in our application. So for the Veterans Day Parade, so you all should
Okay.
have our stuff along with our check and everything ready to go. We are planning for November the 11th. Yeah.
Very
Mhm.
good. We look forward to
So
seeing you there.
what's the cost of putting something in the parade for Veterans Day and for the Martin Luther King Day? You know, Bert?
For the Veterans Day parade, I think the for the Veterans Day parade,
$150.
what was it, Derek? We
$150.
don't charge. I have to make this clear. We can't charge for the Veterans Day parade. We suggest people can donate. We got a guideline that they can donate for the parade. Okay, that helps us out. But we can't, because of our charter, we can't just charge you for it. You can donate as
Right.
much as you want to, and so we suggest people donate that amount. And I
Mm.
believe whatever the guy, Derek, I don't see the paperwork that goes out. You
It
get in the
was
parade. What was
it
it?
was $150
Yeah,
for the cost of it.
we suggest $150, but if you ain't got $150, you can pay whatever you want to pay, and I doubt we would turn you down.
Oh,
But
so
yeah,
next year you telling me, Mr. Vernon, I
no,
can say I got $10.
yeah, if you got $10, you
You
probably
still
still be
buy
in the parade.
$10?
But I want to make it clear, it's the same thing. We still have to pay for everything. That's why
Now
we
you
tell
tell
folks
me.
we still
Now
have
you
to pay
tell me.
to close the streets and to get the toilets and pay for the street sweepers that we don't need and stuff like that. It's just so much expenses involved with that parade. You'll be surprised what it
Correct.
costs to put on a parade. So yes, there people can take
No,
advantage
I'm
of it.
just kidding. We would do you like that. I was just asking.
I know you wouldn't,
Uh,
but some
no.
people will.
And I don't know what the cost for the okay.
I
Last year, I
think
believe
it
it
was
was
150.
125
Yeah, I can't
plus
remember now, but
for just, and that covers just your,
go on the website, and I believe they sending out letters again already. So we're
yeah,
trying to get them out
I was
early.
just looking at it to see if I could see what it said. Is it
Yeah,
mlkccc.org?
MLKCC. I don't know whether
Uh,
.org or not. I can't remember the
maybe it's
website.
not .org, but
But it hadn't changed. I don't think we changed the price of it. No price change has been done in a long time for the MLK parade, and that might be
Hmm.
another issue that we need to address as well. But I think the cost's been consistent for the last 4 or 5 years longer.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's $125 just to get
Yeah,
um, your first, like your main vehicle or whatever,
right. Yeah.
and a walker, and then $50 for every segment thereafter. So if you had to have a float, then it's additional 50. If you add like another set of another car, it's another 50, whatever the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you got
Yep. So I will
Doc.
move on to I guess we'll do both BJ and Christina and BJ for Santa Rosa. What we have for
Hey, well, it is great to be here. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm sure BJ as well. Definitely want to send our condolences out to Sandy Smith. She had a death in her family. Her granddaughter, who was attending Howard, passed away unexpectedly, and she got sick and passed away. And so our thoughts, our hearts are with her and her family at this time. For what's going on this month in November, as far as the Democratic Black Caucus, we have our meeting, which is via Zoom on November the 18th. We plan to have that at 6:30 p.m. If you're in Santa Rosa County and would like to join us, please don't hesitate to reach out. Our Women's Club meeting will be on November the 22nd. That'll be at 10 a.m. at the Navarre Library. And I know that the NAACP is looking forward. I know Jill's going to be here soon. Is looking forward. They have a table at the Okaloosa NAACP event coming up this Saturday for the Freedom Fund Gala for Okaloosa. So definitely excited for everything that's going on here. I know BJ has some other announcements.
Take it away, sir.
Yeah, so we have our the Santa Rosa County Democratic Party monthly meeting is going to be on the 20th. That's also going to be via Zoom. We also have a wish list drive that we're doing, collecting goods in order to distribute to needy families who are advancing into the holidays with probably a little less resources than what they would ordinarily have. So you can go to all of our social media channels in order to find the link to the wish list. And we'd like, if you're watching, to try and contribute just a little, even if it's 1 or 2 items, that would be definitely helpful for the families that we have in Santa Rosa County.
Could you tell them, so I don't have to, since you're doing it, just be there, a little bit more about the wish list of who we're trying to target, et cetera, so they get an understanding of why we're doing it.
So are you referring to in reference to the SNAP benefits reason why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So with the holding of funds from the federal government in terms of distribution at the first of the month for people who are in need of food stamps or SNAP benefits, we're doing actually Okaloosa County, Santa Rosa County, as well as Escambia County, and leaders within those respective counties have gotten some help on how to set up a wish list. And people have been donating to that wish list, or at least purchasing things anonymously on that wish list in order for us to gather and be able to distribute to some of the needy families who said that they would be in need of help in our respective counties.
Yeah. Hey. What do you think? All right, so I guess what I will share, just to piggyback off of that, yes, please, for Escambia County, please visit our social medias. You can find the wish list. We've gotten stuff every day. Like on Friday, we got stuff Friday, we got stuff yesterday, we got stuff Thursday, we got stuff today. They keep coming in, but it's never, I don't want to say it's not enough. We certainly appreciate all that everybody's doing. But we have, as BJ mentioned, there are a lot of folks that are looking for ways to feed their families because the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, decided not to allocate or put any money from the emergency slush fund to fund the SNAP benefits for people during this difficult time. So where he's not doing it, Democrats are stepping up and filling in the gap. So if you have a couple spare dollars that you'd like, please visit our websites, or if you can reach out to either BJ or myself or Jill. We can tell you about what's needed and give you the way to reach out or how to access the wish list. Again, if you go on for social media for Escambia Democrats, it's on our Escambia Democrats page, as well as our Twitter page. Et cetera, et cetera. This is an opportunity to help. Let's come together as a community to help those of us who are in need this month. So we're doing that. As I move on, I want to first go to just let everybody know we have the Escambia Democratic Black Caucus tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time is holding an active voter phone bank kickoff, where we're going to be making phone calls to get those people who are at risk of being removed from the voter rolls in our Escambia County, to get them back activated and tell them what they need to do. So if you have some time for about an hour tomorrow evening, please join us. You can sign up here at this website at https:// mobilize.us/S/INN, capital F, capital U, capital Q. Please feel free to join us. We'll get all the training. All you need is a cell phone and a computer. It takes an hour of your time, and we can get through a lot of calls, but we need all hands on deck to see if we can get some of these folks saved and make sure that they're ready to go to the polls in 2026. So please join us for that if you can. So for those of you who are wondering, are you registered? As I mentioned, you might be one of those 16,000 people that have been removed from the voter rolls. If you are curious and you need to check, you can scan the QR code that is listed right here on your screen, or you can call the Escambia County Supervisor of Elections office at 850-595-3900. Again, that's 850-595-3900. Or you can visit escambiavotes.gov/am-i-register. And just type in your information. It takes just a few minutes, and it will tell you whether you need to update your voter registration or if you're an active voter, so you too can safeguard your right to vote in 2026. Takes just a few minutes, so we hope that you take the time to do just that. As we move forward.
Hey, Derek.
Yes, sir.
Put that poster back, the first one you had back on there, if you will. I just want to take
one?
That one. I just want to talk about it so I can have something to talk about in the morning, okay?
I'll send it to you as well.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. So again, just please join us for make sure that you safeguard your vote in 2026. The Escambia County Democratic Women's Club will be having their meeting on Saturday, December the 8th, starting at 1 p.m. at the Tryon Branch Library. And we want to make sure that you take the time. If you've never been, they're a great meeting, a great opportunity to join us. And we ask that you'll join us there. Additionally, as we move on, and we've talked about it, but you can certainly join the Escambia Democrats. If you have nothing else to do on Veterans Day, you can, if you want to be a part of the parade, come walk with us as the Democrats. When we're going to be lining up, I assume it's at 9 o'clock, somewhere around there. The parade starts at what time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, yeah. So we'll be lining up about 9 o'clock, making sure we're all set and ready to go. Someone asked me, is the parade route long? And I say, I don't think it's any longer than like 3/4 of a mile. But it's a short, I consider it to be shorter than the MLK parade. So if you're interested and you'd like to join us, please feel free to join us. You can sign up again at Mobilize, or just meet us downtown at 9 o'clock. Look for the Escambia Democratic Party stickers on the vehicles, and we'll be right there to join you. I do want to highlight a couple of things. Want to make sure that everybody knows that Sunshine is having her Thanksgiving Feast of Love and Hope. And it's Sunshine Rays of Giving in partnership with Lemons to Lemonade and the Leah Gibson Foundation, and also the Engage All Pat, along with some other folks, including some folks with the Democratic Party. This is an opportunity for you to come out and give. If you need a meal or you'd like to volunteer to provide some goods to cook the meal, please do so. Or if you want to donate, you can email Sunshine at sunshinemore@gmail.com. And that's that's going to be at Tuesday, November the 25th at 11 a.m., which is going to be at the Fricker Center at 900 North F Street. So please either email Sunshine or call 850-748-7040. Again, that's 850-748-7040. And lastly, I want to highlight one of folks. I want to highlight Overflow Health Alliance. They are going to have their first annual inaugural Black and Gold Gala. It's sponsored by the Overflow Health Alliance and Roots. And Roots is Reclaiming Our Own Transitional Stability. It is going to be November the 29th at 2025, which It's going to be at 3298 West DeSoto Street here in Pensacola. It's hosted by Sunshine, and it's featuring Ann Nesby. When I asked, I have to, I don't want to give my black part away, but I didn't know who Ann Nesby was. And everybody looked at me like, are you kidding? Like, why do you not know who Ann Nesby was? And now I know who Ann Nesby is. So, but I've never heard one of her songs. At least I don't think I've heard her song. So if blues, is that the right category for her, Mr. Brennan? Blues?
Yeah, blues, southern soul kind of a genre.
Yeah, okay. So if you're interested and you want to hear Ann Nesby, please do that. The doors open at 6:30 p.m. And again, that's the Overflow Health line, sponsored by Overflow Health and Commissioner Newman May. I think that is all that I have at the present moment. So we're going to welcome our, I was about to say our late comer, but I'll say our wonderful friend from Okaloosa County, Miss Jill Lewis Dax. I always said that because she gave me a hard time. I said that I stopped calling her out. So welcome, Jill. Thank you for joining us. Do you have anything you'd like to share with us today?
Thank you so much. I apologize for being late. Had some internal issues and needed to address. Sometimes family has things going on, but not to ever want to put the show or our viewers in a state of not knowing. I hate to even go after Derek because Derek like tells you something you could do for the rest of your life. And then you can go to the gala, but the rest of us will be going to galas. But you can go to Derek's gala. I just have a few things for Okaloosa. We are in transition, so a lot of the things that you're seeing through Santa Rosa and Escambia County, you will soon be seeing in Okaloosa. We are working on a list for people so that they will also know where to go in this very difficult time. Different places that are giving out food, who are paying bills that need to be paid, and they specifically will pay a portion of your light bill, your gas bill, your rent. If they're late, they will not. At this time, some of them pay your water bill, and they will absolutely not pay your telephone bill. So I'm just going to give everybody a 101. If you have $500 and you know you have some assistance coming in, get the assistance and hold off on paying your phone bill until you see how much assistance you have. Because if you get $300 for them and that covers your light bill, then you can cover your phone bill too. I know in these difficult times we have to be kind of savvy on, and I know how difficult it is to decide, do I go to the grocery store? Do I feed my kids? Do I turn on the lights? What do I do? So just utilize the resources. That information is up and coming and should be out by Tuesday. We're just waiting for confirmation from some of the locations. Several of the locations have been doing this for the last 7 years. So some of it is information that you will already know, but then there are organizations and entities that are stepping up because of the difficult times that we're in. And then on November 8th, the NAACP has their Freedom Fund banquet. Many of us are going. Also on November 8th in Crestview, it's military appreciation, not the parade, but they do a military appreciation every single year. That will be held on November 8th. It's at the Bush House 10 to 2. Veterans Day Parade in Crestview, and there will be one in Fort Walton. Is November 11th. It'll take place at 9 o'clock on Main Street. And then they have their Christmas parade. I know it seems like it's kind of early to even think about Christmas, but they already have the information out. It is going to be December 6th. As far as our local democratic entities, we are in the process of working together. We invite anybody to support any of the things that are going on in Escambia or Santa Rosa. And then the Okaloosa Black Caucus is putting together an event in December. More details to come. Our new president, I keep saying new, he's been here now for a year, so I guess he's not new. John Armour is putting that together, so we invite all three counties to join us for that. And then anytime that you, as Derek said, you want to go to our website, Facebook pages, if you want to reach out to myself or others that are in leadership, we are here to serve. So whatever that means and whatever that takes in this time, that's what we're here to do. We will, of course, be working on voter registration, the voter rolls, voter education, vote by mail, but we also want not only Okaloosa County, but our trifecta here of Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa to know that we're here for you and that you're not in this alone. Many of us are walking right alongside you. Some of us are fortunate. Not sure who they are, but there are still some fortunate people who this isn't impacting as much, and they're giving back. And even some that are being impacted are giving back. So make sure you reach out if you need assistance. You can always call any of us. You can also dial 211 and they'll get you connected. But I believe all three counties will have the information for you for food banks and for bills to be paid. And just know that you're not in this alone. We're all here together. And
Hey, Derek.
tonight we're going to give you some ways to feel better.
Thank you for sharing that too. Ms. Vernon, you had something?
Yes, I just wanted to, Keenan must have been listening because he texted me to tell you that the MLK, the interest for the MLK parade for 2026 is $175. And also for vendors, it's $100. You want to be a vendor to go down and sell food around the food plaza. And so we encourage folks that do have vendors trucks and so forth to join us, okay? So in January. And another, let me put another little tidbit in for it, if you will. If you're a business, that is the cheapest advertising you're ever going to get. $175, get seen by hundreds of people. It be televised, 2 television stations, going to be on Blab and on WBQP. And so if you want to show off your new business or your new organization and so forth, you might want to get in the parade, okay? For $175, you're not going to be able to beat it.
Yep. And I want to say thank you to Jill because she brought something. I know I forgot to do it earlier. So I'm going to just take a point of personal privilege now to do it. Since we're talking about food banks. And I know we talked about how you could donate, but for those who are in need, especially if you're in Escambia County, I just wanted to share the list. Of course, as Jill said, as we combine the list, next week we'll have Santa Rosa's and Okaloosa's County, but here in Escambia County, you can go to Brownsville Assembly of God, the Catholic Charities Food Pantry, Epps Christian Center, the Holy Cross Episcopal Church, Little Flower Catholic Church, Marcus Point Baptist Church, Myrtle Grove Baptist Church, Myrtle Grove United Methodist Church, Pensacola Caring Hearts, Salvation Army, Samaritan Hands, St. Joseph's Caring and Sharing, St. Vincent de Paul, Tender Hearts Caring Hands,
the
Food Bank. Thank you. I was looking at the address, so it's like Olive Road and Winthrop Avenue. Those aren't together. Man of Food Bank, Man of Food Pantries, Feeding the Gulf Coast, and Perdido Bay United Methodist Church. Again, if you don't get that and you need additional assistance, as Jill said, always call 211 on your phone, and they can direct you to the best way to kind of help guide you through this next month. But please know that we are all in this together, and the Democrats are here. If you need something that can't provide, feel free to reach out to any one of us, and we will happily. If we can't get it for you, we can get you in the direction to get it.
So Derek, did I not see any African American churches on that?
Let's put it back up. That would be, well, you saw Epps Christian Center.
I know Epps, the Christian Center.
Marcus Point, Myrtle Grove United Methodist. Of course, Miss Fanny Finkley at Pensacola Caring Hearts. I don't know what Samaritan Hands are. St. Joseph's is the Catholic Church. So no.
Okay. Just checking.
No, no, no,
Uh,
no.
mm, yeah. Yeah. SNAP program. I'm thinking about, was you had any more announcement there?
No, I just want, like, before we, I guess, since we're talking about churches, I want to just briefly mention, I don't know if you guys saw, BJ brought it to our attention, the article in the newspaper today. There was a church with which I'm not familiar, but they paid off the Medicaid debt for about 4,400 people here in Escambia County, totaling to about $6.5 million.
Mm,
And that's the church's Transformation Church. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of it. I don't know where it's somewhere on over the highway, but I've never heard of it, nor am I familiar with it. But just want to give when people who do good things, say, hey. And to me, when you look at it, when you talk about it, to me, that is the very definition of what I expect churches to do. That is to me what I think God calls people to do, and things of that nature. Paying off medical debt, just just as a here, let's help out. There's things we should be doing. I think of all these mega churches where the pastors got planes and drive Mercedes Benzes and all that other stuff. And you don't see not near one of them, doing stuff like that. But like in things of need, when you talk about times of need and things of that nature, like I would love to see more churches operating in that speed.
Hey, Jerry, you was talking about how many black churches on there? How many lanes in the highway did you need?
yeah, I know, right.
And
Already.
let's not, there may be some black churches that are doing some stuff. They just have not made it to the list. I won't.
And
I don't know.
what I would say, now I can't cover whatever color churches. What I can say is that often the churches that are on your list, at least in Okaloosa County, they've been doing it so long that it would be better for you to work with them than to start your own in such a fast moment. It's due right now. So some of them might be doing that. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, just giving that as a thing. I will also add this, and I'm sure most of you might not agree with this, but this is just me. Having been somebody who's been in medical debt because I can't keep myself out of the hospital, um, at a time when I don't, this is just me personally, not that I don't appreciate what that church does, but to Derek's point that that's what the church is supposed to be doing, I think for them that's wonderful because they have the ability to do it. But I think you said $6.5 million. I would have loved to see $6.5 million worth of food go out and bills be paid, light bills and water bills. That's me. Don't come back. Just listen. That's me.
Yeah, but it's not a factual statement. I said $6.5 million in medical debt is what they cleared. They didn't give $6.5 million.
Right.
So
I understand. They cleared it, so it had to be paid. Well, they bought it off. I know how the system works, but whether they bought 2 million of it off to pay off 6.5 million, me personally, I didn't say you had to agree, so I don't need anybody to jump on me. I'm just saying for me right now, I would love to see churches give to the people that are in need in the way that they need right now. Because sometimes, not that that's bad, I don't think anybody on that list is like, they're probably like, Jill, shut up. I don't have no debt. However, that being said, at the same time, they might not have no food and they weren't going to pay off that medical debt right now anyway. So that's all I'm saying. There's so many people that are hurting that maybe for me, just based on your last statement of that's what churches are supposed to be doing, I would do an all call to churches, black, white, purple, pink. I don't really care what color you are. I don't care what your denomination is. If you are a faith-based organization, I would say your community is in need of your assistance, your help, your money, your time, your ability to give back. And however you can do that, please do it. So if you need to start your own, start your own. If you need to join another, join another. But there is a desperate, deep need in this community, and all hands on deck.
It's definitely needed because y'all president, he had a big Halloween event other night, Great Gatsby, you know, where they just washing money and all of that, and then with his $200 million ballroom, they were showing off his gold faucets and all of that, while millions of people, uh, you know, life is hanging in the balance whether they're going to eat tomorrow or not. This is what they are showing off about him, and I'm like, really, you know, and he's, there were people like in Illinois, the governor wanted to load the people's car so they could buy food with their EBT card. They shut down the cards so they couldn't load anything on the car, any money on the car. I mean, to what is, I'm trying to figure out, why is he really doing this? What is behind him doing that? To starve people to death, or what is it?
Just evil and nasty. That he has no redeeming values, Jerry. I'm convinced of that. He just a person that's has no redeeming values. Just he's doing it only because he can, and he has enjoyment out of people suffering.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That he just enjoy the suffering of people in this country, and anybody that And the thing about it, most of the people that are suffering is his constituency. You know, like the people that are especially in the South, in these so-called red states like Arkansas and Louisiana and Alabama and Kentucky. The list of these southern states goes on because they're the one depending more on subsidies from services from the government or welfare from the government than anybody. Even the states themselves are dependent on other states to feed them or to uphold them through the taxes that we pay, and the blue states pay to the government that goes disproportionate to red states. And I'm like, they cutting everything and trying to turn the clock back before the 1960s, on everybody's right in this country. But to starve children, to, the elderly, the disabled, it really, I mean, and I'm trying to figure out, is he really behind it, or is it Steve Miller that's really behind, Stephen Miller? Trump just don't, do he?
Stephen Miller is one of the prime ones, Jerry. But if Trump didn't agree with it, he didn't have to do what Stephen Miller suggests. Okay, so it's obviously he's doing what Stephen Miller wants him to do. Okay, mm-hmm. So he enjoys. You talking about his constituency? It doesn't matter. His suffering is what gets his jollies. He don't care who at what expense, whether his folks or ours. It doesn't matter because he's sick like that. In my opinion, he's a sick person.
And he's not the only one. Mike Johnson get up every day and lie on television saying that they not even in D.C., but he's saying the Democrats are the one keeping the House from opening because they are out of town. They're out of town because of the Democrats. So they're not going to open the House. They're not even seating the woman that got elected in a special election. I don't know. I think is it Arizona, Oklahoma, one of those.
Arizona.
Arizona. They're not even seating her. He's keeping it shut down so that they won't seat her because of the Epstein file. On top of that, there's an analyst, a guy that's close to the Republican Party today. He was saying that they might not even open up government to 2026. To keep it shut down to 2026. Now this
Derek, well, Jared, to answer your question, I think I want to ask Derek. He seemed to be a very intelligent person. How do you define a sycophant?
Ah!
What? No, I don't know. Don't ask me. I can't tell you.
BJ, somebody help me out. I'm just trying to explain Mike Johnson's behavior.
Mm.
BJ, help me out.
I think Mike Johnson is an accomplice to this whole mission. When you ask the why, I think that there is a very not so subtle why. The why is he is trying to cause civil unrest. And the easiest and the quickest way to cause civil unrest is to deny people the very essentials that they need to live. The reason why he wants to deny people the very essentials they need to live is because then that causes that puts mood within the system to cause anarchy. And he needs anarchy and civil unrest in order to declare martial law, because once he declares martial law, he can cancel elections, he can subjugate anybody, he can militarize the streets, he can do everything that he has planned to do. Like Jill always says, that's probably page 359 of Project 2025. And so he needs civil unrest in order to declare martial law. That's the last piece of the puzzle in my view, and he's gonna get it. I don't think he's gonna get it from black folk. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think his own people gonna cut up, but he's going to get it. There will be martial law in this country before the next presidential election. I mark this date, November. What is it? 2nd.
Second.
So,
I mean, we've not seen any portions of Project 2025 be stopped so far. So why would we assume that part of Project 2025 would be stopped?
mhm.
Show me the evidence. I mean, if y'all want to show me the evidence to say which part of the book ain't been implemented yet, and maybe we can. But that's the why.
So
But-
since you asked me, Mr. Vernon, I had to ask Copilot and Copilot because I was like, well, I don't know. Copilot, for those who were like me and didn't, is someone, a sycophant is defined as someone who flatters powerful people in a self-serving and insincere way to gain favor or advantage. They excessively praise or agree someone with power, often personal benefit. You think of someone who constantly says yes to the boss, not because they agree, because they want a promotion or protection. Some synonyms are brown noser, toady,
Ass kisser.
boot licker, the booty licker, a flunky, a suck up,
A booty
parasite.
liquor.
Yeah, that's what it said. I was like, I had never heard of that. And
I
then,
mean that tracks with Mike Johnson, but I mean,
and then the one that I want to look up is a lick spittle. I don't know what that is, but a lick spittle is a definition. So there we now know what sycophant is. I think I'd rather you call me a sycophant than a lick spittle. I think I might be offended. But yes.
but can I say something that's not popular that y'all probably gonna like be mad at me about?
Go ahead.
What this man is doing is cruel. But if we really take an honest assessment, I mean, I don't know which one of you all here. I'm willing to put my business out there. I can remember a time when my mom with 3 kids was on food stamps. I don't know if that's anybody else's experience on this panel, but I have that experience. And we got to be honest. They wasn't giving us that much of money anyway. Like I can distinctly remember during the Clinton era, I was probably 11 or 12 years old, of figuring out like you couldn't buy no broccoli. You can't buy asparagus. You can't buy salmon. You can't buy anything healthy. You had to buy what you could in order to get them. So it was peanut butter and jelly. It was Kraft macaroni and cheese. All of this stuff that's killing us anyway. You literally had to buy cheap processed food because that was how you could stretch the little bit money they gave you. So, and we all know what Clinton did in terms of welfare reform, and that was a Democrat. So we got to be honest. This government, no matter who has been in power, has not been on the side of poor and low income people. Now we can change. We can certainly envision a scenario where that is different, but for the majority of people who are living off of $6 a day to feed their entire family, and that's if you're lucky, that's on the high side of average. I can remember what that was like, hoping that you didn't go over your food stamps when you were in the grocery line on that conveyor belt. And so no matter what party is in power, there's always an element of the way this country craps on, poor and low income people. And my mama always had a job. Most of the time had more than one. So it just makes me think, yes, what this administration is doing is cruel, but it's not like the system was great before they destroyed it anyway. It wasn't like, it's like we long for the imperfect because of what we have now. But that's why sometimes I just got to sit with my thoughts and start envisioning what I want this system to look like when we have to rebuild it. Because I actually don't want to go back to the way it was when I was 12 years old, where, we having to get people got to buy nasty Kraft macaroni and cheese to get through, and weenies that look like, you don't even want to know what them things look like under the microscope. But, and I mean hot dog weenies. So, but I'm just saying, I don't want to go back to that system. I want to go back to a system where poor and low income people can get food stamps and buy broccoli and asparagus and green beans and salmon. And, why is that considered luxury foods? Like, you should be able to eat healthy even if you are poor, even if you are working poor. So I just I don't actually want to go back. Now that it's all been thrown up in the air, I'm not interested in going back to the way it was, where we giving people $6 a day to try and ration and buy sugary cereal and stuff that's going to give them diabetes when they're 20 years old. I don't want to go back to that system.
You're right that I remember those days when we bought. When you think about it, it was all junk food that you could get with food stamps back then. Because we were farmers, it's just like veterans, but we were farmers when I was growing up. And at mid-season, in certain parts of the season, you didn't have no income coming in. What they call burning. About that, lay by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when the farming season was over with, you had those winter months where you didn't have no money coming in. If you was on the farm, and if you didn't have somebody didn't have another job out there, which they wasn't hiring you because they wanted you to stay on the farm and work the farms. And but I think about veterans who are getting food stamps. Now, it's no way that the veterans should be getting, should have to get food stamps, I would say, or assistance when they are fighting to protect this country. And that's
Jerry, even worse than that, Jerry. Active duty military people, the low grade, they have to supplement their income with food stamps and snaps and stuff like that. And in this country, it's a shame that we have to do that.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. These are active duty people who I saw, on television and other places that they was talking about, their wives saying, our husbands are not getting paid or they're not getting paid. So they got to go and stand in a food line or to get something to eat. Now these, because because you get idiots running the country, you know, who are Republican. Let's just tell it like it is. Who are Republicans? Trump and all his minions, Mike Johnson, Thune, all of them are in cahoots together to hurt the American people. And it seems like they're going to get away with it again, you know. And I hope that we are able to have an election in 2026, at least get the House back. I hope that we are able to do that. But it looked I agree with BJ. We might not have the election, you know, because that's what they are trying to. They are trying to provoke something in this country to introduce martial law, because you see how they are how they are treating people as if they have no humanity, when they are going after people going into schools and people going into churches. They are snatching them and slamming them to the ground, you know, in malls. And, you know, you can, you know, when you see that, the anger in you rises up, because, you know, you wish there was something that you could do. If there was some kind of way I could slap a spell on them or some kind of curse, I sure would. But no, I can't, but I sure would like to. But, you know, to see that, how they are treating people as if they have no humanity whatsoever, is absolutely asinine.
And I agree with BJ as well. I mean, there's no reason other than to prepare for martial law, but sending troops into American cities. That's what he wanted to do. And so hopefully that by 2026 election, like you said, he can call martial law, cancel the election. That's going to be it. I hope that don't come to pass, but Lord, I think that might be the strategy.
Has anyone been in conversation with people who are on the other side of this issue? I haven't been in conversation, and the reason why I ask is because not that I've necessarily been in conversation with anyone, but I've been conversation adjacent, meaning listening to other people talk about this particular issue when they think everybody in the room agrees with them. And so sometimes you just got to play fly on the wall in order to see where you can meet people. And what I have gathered, even from today, listening to people talk about this issue, is that people genuinely just do not feel that people are deserving of basic humanity. Mm-hmm. People, it is shocking when you hear that people think that if your body cannot contribute it has to be in a form of labor. If you cannot contribute in the form of labor to a capitalistic corporation, then you are undeserving of food. That's genuinely what people think. You need to most people don't know that you have to work most of the time in order to qualify for some of these programs. They genuinely think that these are people just sitting at home eating lobster and, you know, boiled crab legs and getting shrimp boils. This is what they think. And I don't know how we break through, but we have to find a way to break through, because there ain't enough of us in order to make a difference. We keep saying there's more of us and there's more than there are of them, but is it? Or is that just something we telling ourselves to, you know, to keep, you know, encouraging and us to keep the faith? I'm almost wondering if it's 50-50 at this point. I don't know if it's more of us than it is of them.
Well, when I think about the people that didn't vote, some 90 million people that didn't vote, I do believe that a lot of those individuals, or the majority of them, do not agree with this system as it is with, you know, dealing with Donald Trump and Mike Johnson and who is head, you know, the majority leader in the Senate and the House Speaker, and Trump and Vance. All of these people who Now they're talking about sending people to the Democrat states, National Guards to monitor elections. If and then talking about they stole the last election. But I'm like, yeah, but you're the president. How is it that the last election was stolen from you when you're the president? A criminal, adjudicated rapist, a fraud, but you're the president of the United States, but you're saying the election was stolen from you. Like,
I
how
believe
that
the
work?
election was stolen, but not from ever stolen
Not from,
from Kamala.
yeah, from Kamala Harris. It
It was
wasn't him.
actually
From
stolen.
him.
I still go to my grave believing
I
he
do.
could not have won this election fair and square. I just will not accept that.
No, yeah, I don't believe he did. You know, he said out his own mouth that Elon Musk and them helped him to get the election. I mean, he wasn't hiding it. He said it. He said that Elon Musk helped him win that election through his
So,
program.
so BJ, going to your point, I went on a Navarre. It wasn't about food stamps. It was about the healthcare prices and how that was going to increase for folks who got their um, for folks who got their insurance off of the marketplace or had Obamacare. One person posted her premium will go from $800 a month that she's currently paying to $1,700 a month if they don't renew due to the cliff. Bunch of people jumped all over her and stated that they said that that means taxpayers have been paying $900 a month on your health insurance, and attacked her for the increase and said, we're done paying for your health insurance. And that's our community. And I mean, it went on. And then the rest of people who were also complaining because they're going to have increased health costs, they went back to blame President Obama. And that it was his fault and everything was so much better before this. And so I didn't see anybody within the community saying anything positive towards Democrats. It was either President Obama's fault for why healthcare was so much, or it was the person who was purchasing off of the open marketplace for why their premiums were what they were. Not the fact that the state never expanded Medicaid for Obamacare to work like it was supposed to. Not the fact that Democrats are fighting to keep that cost down. None of that. It just wasn't even in the conversation. And that's different than what you were saying about food, but I feel like it's the same way
Jill,
with
Christina.
our community.
Christina, I think all of that just bullshit. Okay, put it bluntly. It's just is everybody looking for a scapegoat? Okay, now I bet you not one of them said anything about the taxpayer dollars for the bailout for the rich, for the companies and so forth like that. Right? That's coming out of the taxpayer dollars. So when the hell they suppose that these subsidies that coming out of taxpayer dollars, these are our dollars. So why is it so different for rich folks than it is for poor folks? Okay, and these same most stupid ass poor folks are writing these dumb ass comments. Okay, and to be bamboozled, it just beyond me why people such sheepers. I don't get it. And they're not critical thinkers. They can't think for themselves. They just go along with the program, go along with bullshit that is not relevant and not even true.
and what they felt, before the ACA or Obamacare, whichever one you want to call it, there were people who had pre-existing conditions who could not buy insurance, which meant that if you did get it, it was going to cost you an exorbitant amount of money to get the insurance. Then on top of that, your insurance was limited to how much, you could have. And your insurance could
And
run out at
pre-existing
one.
conditions.
Yeah.
You can get it.
If you might not, your policy might not carry no more than $300,000, $400,000, and you go in the hospital a couple of times, that's gone, and you were out of insurance. And you could not buy different types of insurance, like with the ACA on the marketplace, or Obamacare on the marketplace, because most people don't know that. Well, most people should know the difference, but they don't know that it's the same insurance. Obamacare and the ACA is the same thing. But there are people out there because I've seen it on Jimmy Kimmel. They had, he was asking them about the Obamacare and and the ACA. Yeah, I don't like that Obamacare, but I like the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And they once they explained to us the same exact thing, but they still, well, if I knew it, I wouldn't have bought it. Well, you would not have no insurance because you couldn't afford. And you could tell that they were, didn't have the kind of money that they, like paying $12,000-$14,000 a year for insurance. Which was, and then you have the what they call the Cadillac benefits, which was around 20-some thousand dollars a year, and you paying $4,000 or $5,000 a year because you got subsidies. And this is the thing that the Democrats are trying to help the people to hold on to. And I don't know what it's going to take for people to understand that you might not have no insurance, if you might not have anything, because they want to get rid of all of the services that including Social Security and other things. They want to get rid of all that so the rich can get even more richer. They're giving up what, around $3 trillion in over so many period of years, over 5 or 10 years, I think, somewhere around there, that they're going to give up that kind of money to the rich who are already super rich. Bezos and all of these people, and what do they need with any more money? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we are dealing with, the kind of mindset. You hate the poor, but you love the rich because you think one day you're going to be rich.
So particularly in our area, there's a lot of folks that have special needs kids. I made a post talking about how that office at the federal level was essentially gutted and everybody was laid off, and kids have now lost a layer of federal resources that they essentially used to have. So when states weren't doing what they were supposed to do, you could appeal to the federal government to have the states do what they're supposed to do. And all these folks, and it's part of Project 2025. I'm sure there's a page number for it. And folks went on, and these are folks with special needs kids, and they were on like, those resources are just going to come back to the state, and saying the state's going to do the right thing, and was standing up for it, and thought it was a great thing, and absolutely do not realize what was just lost and what happened.
I think this is how we messed up. Is unfortunately we set those subsidies for the Affordable Care Act to expire. We should have just passed it and made it permanent, because there's always no guarantee that we're going to be in power a decade from now or whenever they were set to expire. So we know better next time. We should have knew better
What we
then.
next time?
You're right. There will be, well, let's not get fatalist too quick. But we know better next time. The other thing is that this is how we negotiated ourselves out of the public option. We messed up there. And then we also, remember, we incorporated remember that there's going to be no freeloaders and everybody had to buy in, because that's how we put that in the bill in order to get Republican support, which they ended up not supporting anyway, where everybody had to pay into it. So if everybody paid into it, that would reduce the risk pool and bring down our cost if the risk pool was diluted because everybody had to participate. And then the Supreme Court overruled that and said you can't force people to buy insurance. So soon as
They do it every day.
right, soon as they said you can't force people to buy insurance, you can't force the states to expand Medicaid, we got rid of the public option. Poor Obamacare's bill has been on life support probably within a year of it going in, and now we are seeing that they basically about to pull grandma off the breathing machine. That's basically what's going on right now. But it has been on life support. This poor man's legacy in terms of health care has been whittling away with every administration, every court ruling, every Republican governor who has come into office and has tried to pick it apart until basically now it's about to be buried.
Yeah, and the Congress voted 63 times to get rid of it. And the only reason it was saved then was because of, in the Senate, because of John McCain.
Yeah.
John McCain, after he had his episode, he like, okay, yeah, I know what it's like now. He came in and gave it a thumb down. But if it hadn't been for him, it would have been gone at that time. They voted 63 times to get rid of something that benefit the American people. And they have been voting for years they've been fighting for years to get rid of Social Security and Medicare. They voted against that. The Republicans voted against that and did everything they could to kill it. It's just that they couldn't at the time.
It's funny you say that, because I was just on a couple of weeks ago with on Sunshine Show with the Republican chair. And that man looked me in the face and said that Republicans have never tried to kill Social Security. He was like, that's not true. It didn't happen. And so I said, Rick Scott was the author of the bill. And he was like, no, he wasn't. You're lying to the public. And I'm like, no, my friend, you're a bold liar. And it's so, it goes back to the point. I oftentimes wonder do they believe the stuff that they say? Because at one point, I know we all believe that they get their talking points and they just run with it, right? But some of the stuff, when I can prove, you can go to the Senate.gov and look at his legislation and pull it up, they'll still be like, no, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm glad that you said that. I wanted to go back to something you said, Mr. Vernon, because you called them, what did you call them? The poor ass people who get the whatever you said, however you said it. I thought it was funny because you said about they always make the weird comments, and it's like I had to chuckle to myself because I remember last year when we were sign waving for Harris Walls and some of our local candidates, and the people, you get people who blow in support, and then you get the hecklers and the folks who are like, Trump always. And it never failed that every time it was a Trump always guy, we would be in there like, Derek, you gotta stop saying that. So I'm like, sir, ma'am, you have 5/8 of a veal. What, your whole quarter panel is missing. Like this one lady had a rope tied around the frame to hold her door closed. I'm like, but you hollering about Trump. You don't even have enough money to get your car fixed. So what are we talking about? Like it's always, it always seems to be like, at what point do you, I continue to say, stop voting against yourself? But you said something and I wanted to bring it up because I know this question, I was having this conversation with someone earlier today. I'm going back to the SNAP benefits and like who receives them, because BJ was talking about the people who are affected. And it's not just, so he made a great point about people always, have to have jobs or they're not just sitting around collecting these. But in addition to those folks that people are thinking of that are going to be impacted, you got about over 1.2 veterans who are who have lost their monthly SNAP benefits. You got people with disabilities, even those who are on disability as it relates to the U.S. government. They have lost their SNAP benefits, and even seniors and families. And I would add to that, because I remember when I was an undergrad, I didn't realize it was a thing, but the amount of students who are in school who are at these university campuses who use SNAP benefits so that they can eat while they're going to school to get an education, they are at a loss. I remember a lot of folks when I was an undergrad, they got their SNAP benefits or the food stamps at the time, and that was their way of being able to feed themselves while they continued their education. And these people, I assume the same holds true today. So it's highly unfortunate to find ourselves in this position. And to the point, I will always want to make sure that we reiterate, this didn't have to be, because even though the federal government was closed, states have emergency funds that they could have released to fund the SNAP benefits for each one of the states. Florida could have they have a $5 billion surplus that they could have opened up the kitty so that people would not have gone hungry or would not go without their SNAP benefits. And you know what that Republican governor said? Because, some people are saying, oh, it's the Democrats who are holding it up, and the Democrats aren't allowing you to get your SNAP benefits. Well, what about the state governors who are Republican, who have control of their money, who are still saying, because they have whether or not Congress is in or out or there's a shutdown, they still at the state level have the ability to fund those programs, and they still chose not to. They're still saying, no, we're not going to. So if you're in Florida, don't look at Democrats, because the man that you have sitting in Tallahassee could have very well have said, hey, we're going to fund in the short term, we're going to fund this for this month, and then so that people could go without. He chose not to do it. He absolutely chose not to do it. So this is where we are. And then I wanted to share something too, even aside from that. I don't know if you all noticed, I found out later this afternoon that the USDA even sent an email or sent communications to grocery store retailers and chains telling them that they are prohibited from offering special discounts to customers affected by the SNAP funding lapse. So even those folks who said, okay, I know that grocers who are saying, I know that you're in perilous times and you have, there's a need because you don't have SNAP benefits. Let me see if you can offer special discounts to some of the products that we sell. The USDA, which for those who understand, don't know, like, well, why is the USDA involved? That's the governing agency that funds SNAP, right? Or oversees the SNAP program. They said, no, you will not. And they said that because Trump said that, don't you tell them people that they can't do it. So, but grocery stores like Publix, Aldi, Kroger, who may have been providing reduced rates during this perilous times, they can't do so because the
Well,
president and the USDA told them, no, you better not.
well, and it's only because if they don't have to listen to them because they're a private company, so they are not
But they
on.
do. They do in a
Yeah,
way because if they violate the policy, then they can be removed or prohibited in the long term for receiving SNAP benefits. So they can pull their ability to participate in the program away. So even though they're private companies, if you can't offer or accept SNAP benefits, that would assumingly hurt your bottom line. So
yeah, but
that's what hurts that.
So they
I'm
can't. So how do you stop them from having a sale? Why don't they do it under the guise of what it is? Okay,
Yeah.
so today we're going to have everything is 2 for 1.
yeah.
I think that they could
Publix does
certainly,
Tuesdays and Walmart can do Wednesdays and whoever can do Aldi could do Thursdays and then what? That's a sale.
I think that they could certainly, there's workarounds that they could do. I don't think that they even want to give the presumption of guilt of going against the administration because all of these, the Waltons and the Publix dynasty and all these, I mean, they're all multi-billion-dollar corporations who want to, serve at his feet. So I don't think that they would even take the chance of doing something like that if they've gotten direction from the government. And whatever happened to Republicans saying that the government shouldn't be putting their thumbs on the scale of the private sector and picking and choosing winners? So we all knew that that was a lie from the beginning. Because they talking about this man up in New York who wants to do grocery stores with affordable groceries, and they calling
Right.
him a socialist.
Mhm.
But here it is, we got the USDA sending emails to private corporations telling them what their pricing structure should look like.
It's amazing, and but like
I
you say,
wanted
they go ahead,
So
Derek.
I just wanted to show you what it looked like. So you could see from the Department of Food and Agricultural Service must comply with the SNAP equal treatment. You must offer eligible food at the same prices and on the same terms and conditions to SNAP EBT customers as the other customers, except that sales tax cannot be charged on SNAP purchases. Cannot treat SNAP EBT covered customers differently than other customers, and offering discounts and services only to SNAP paying customers is a SNAP violation unless you have SNAP equal treatment, unless you have a SNAP equal treatment.
I'm glad I'm just not seeing this because, see, the Lord was trying to protect me from my blood pressure was high this morning and I was being protected because that would have sent me through when I was at work today. So
Yeah.
thank you for closing my evening with it. That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
I
This is where we are.
I mean, when you see the stuff like this, it really makes your blood boil because people out there are in need. It's I think they said 40 million people that's used the SNAP program, and that all of these people cannot participate. The stores that been accepting the SNAP program now can't participate. I'm wondering what would happen if all these other stores say, "The hell with you." We as corporations going to do it anyway. What they going to do then? So I just don't understand what these people think they are doing to hurt the American people. 40 million people you are trying to just, you're keeping food from. How do you do that without any feelings? But you out on golf course, you having big parties, you building 200 now it's 300 going on $400 million ballroom because at first he said it was 200 million, now it's around 300 some million, and it's keep going up. Next week it probably be 500 million, close to more close to $1 billion to build this. After he done tore down the parts of the White House, from a historic perspective.
You're talking about that, which I wholeheartely agree with you. But in addition to that, don't forget they just unveiled, and I wanted to show the new. He just remodeled the Lincoln bathroom in the White House, and in
Yeah.
that he did which is the bathroom, which is attached to the bedroom, is now covered with white and black statutory marbles from floors to walls, the sink, the shower, and the tub. It's got gold accent. It's because he likes that gaudy stuff. Where fixtures like the faucets, the shower heads, and towel hooks are gold plated. Even the flower pots and the robe hooks, they have shimmer. They have a robe bearing the presidential seal hangs on the wall, and the overall designs. It looks like exactly what Mar-a-Lago looks like. And, if you haven't seen it, I just wanted to share a couple of the images that they've got. This is so instead of, while people are hungry, that's all right. I guess he got a wonderful bathroom. Look at that. That is absolutely crazy for a bathroom, right? This is what it looks like. And of course, you see the demolition of what's happening, right? But this is the before and the after. You see, this is what the before on the left with the green, and you got the marbles on there. You see, there's the presidential robe with the presidential seal on it, and a gold trash can. Now, who needs a gold trash can? Like, why on God's green earth would you need a gold trash can? But they got it. Gold legs, gold toilet paper holder. Look at the difference between that sink where it is then, just a normal old bathroom, to now everything is gold plated. Like it looks horrible, it looks gaudy, but this is what this man wanted. Like, why on earth would you want this? Who needs a gold frame shower and gold handles on your tub? Like, does anybody even take a bath in this room? Like, don't nobody be in here, but this is what they're focused on right now. You got gold in the shower, gold shower heads. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Look at the difference. That's it before, normal bathroom. Now, boom.
That man is almost 80 years old.
Right.
That bathroom is a fall risk waiting to happen.
And maybe he'll be in there when the fall happens.
Look at that. Like the president, just look at this stuff. I mean, he got his picture, his old stage picture from when he was pretend shot.
Yeah.
This is absolutely insane. And I share all this. Look, like the vents, they're gold. Why does where the air and the heat come out got to be gold? This is just, it's ludicrous, but yet millions of people, they hum, right? This is just where we are. Like, it is absolutely insane.
He's spending our money, so it don't matter.
Right.
It's not his money he's spending. He's spending our money. And you're absolutely right. It's insane.
I mean, can you imagine what the media would have done to Joe Biden if we were in the middle of 1 million job loss, inflation back up to 3%, black unemployment back up to COVID levels, the government's been shut down for 34 days, and Joe Biden was having a great Gatsby theme party, traveling around the world to an Asian summit while the government... We in trouble. We are in trouble because the media is not even rising to the okay. The media would have had would have torched and feathered Joe Biden for one of those things that I just said, let alone the list of things that I just said in the middle of a shutdown. And yet it's like, we just keep on marching. We just keep on marching to the next page of 2025. We just keep marching straight on through it.
Yeah, it's absolutely asinine when you think about it. It's absolutely, just you think about, they cut $800 billion out of Medicaid I believe it was around 800 billion or somewhere around there, that help people around all over this country. You know, it's the same amount they're gonna give to the rich, and that's really unfortunate.
Which,
You
by the
know,
way, they made those tax cuts for those billionaires. They made that permanent. They
permanent,
didn't
yeah.
set those to expire like they did the subsidies for low
So,
income people.
right.
They made those tax cuts for wealthy people permanent because
So,
Republicans know how to pass legislation.
Absolutely, BJ. Absolutely. I'm telling
sure,
you,
sure.
you don't get me on the Democrats for being so nice. I'm telling you, it's nice stuff gonna have to stop. And I know we try to do the right thing, but sometimes the right thing ain't always the right thing to do.
I'll tell you. Shirley Baker said 1.4 million people receive SNAP benefits in North Carolina. So those are those red states that are angry at thinking that is more black people getting benefits than they are. You know, I mean, I was looking at where it said I think it was 50-some% of white people get benefits, and some like 26% of black people. Like, and they are complaining and mad at us because we're getting less. You know, you're getting less than what they are getting, but they are mad at you. They saying it was your fault that the economy the way it is, and Trump is right. I'm like, these people have no ability to think critically at all, none. But you were right, Mark.
Mhm.
You were right.
Jared, and maybe this shutdown, and I truly hope that the Democratic Party hold the line on this shutdown. As bad as it is, and as bad as it sounds, but I think sometimes people have to suffer to just see the impact of things. And I believe that white people, white privilege is something, and they haven't felt the burn. When you say burn it down, they hadn't felt the burn. They hadn't felt the pain yet. That that those white people start feeling the pain of what's going on in this country, and maybe things will change. Okay, now we have to sacrifice along with them, but there's nothing for us. We've always sacrificed. We've always been second-handed. So I think black folks are going to be okay. We're survivors until things change. But I don't think white folks has sacrificed, has done any sacrificing at all to feel some real pain. So if the shutdown lasts for a year, so be it. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about it, you're right. Nobody has had to go through what we've went through because everything was set up for the benefit of white people.
People, right?
So black people have suffered the consequences, but the country has been built on our backs, and has the economy have been built on our backs uh, for centuries now. America can't survive if we don't participate. It cannot, because other people, it's like France and America and all them, when they depend on Africa for everything. For everything. Now Trump ready to go to war with Nigeria because they
Mm-hmm.
talk about he going over there to protect Christians. Oh crap.
Protecting white folks. That's
Yeah,
what he's
but
trying to protect, white people.
yeah, see, but the thing about it, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna go in a honey's nest and think that you're gonna come out of there, everything gonna be all right. What you gonna do? Start bombing people? You know, and you don't care nothing about black Christians here. You don't care nothing about black, because Nigeria got the biggest oil deposit in the world. I mean, not in the world, but in Africa, and it might be the world. And that's what
But
they. And that's like Venezuela. Venezuela got all that oil, and that's why they're attacking Venezuela. because they want that oil. And they, these oligarchs, these terrorists who, and that's all they are, terrorists who going around the world now. They know that they got this lunatic in office, called himself a president, who is willing to go along with it for money, because they done bought him and sold him like, like a piece of steak or something, But that's where we at with this clown. And that's what he's trying to start wars in two countries over those people's resources. And then he want to put this woman in power over there in Venezuela, who is a right wing, over Maduro. But people, and while all this other stuff is going on, now all of a sudden he concerned about people in Africa, when there's people in Sudan who are suffering, enormously over there, and then in the Congos who are suffering. But he cares something. Many of those are Christians, but he don't care nothing about them. But there's no oil there.
But Jerry, but when you got a racist, that's an excuse to kill black people. You be talking about he gonna save black Christians, he gonna kill other black folks in the name of saying he's saving black Christians. All that's just bullshit.
Right,
that's just his excuse to go in, like I said, and kill black folks, and then take their resources, as what white people have done for centuries.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about it, if he get into Nigeria, that's not too far from Burkina Faso and all of those places where these people are saying, you're not going to take our resources, that we're going to use our resources to build our own country, and it's amazing to me that that they think that we are so stupid that we don't know what's going on. And I know they know that the majority of the people don't know what's going on or don't even care,
Right.
And that's unfortunate. But when we, and they have destroyed all of the different agencies that we had been dependent on, the environment, Center for Disease Control, gone. You got a worm brain, Kennedy, who said a worm died in his brain, killing everything, and telling people that Tylenol causes autism. I think.
That's why he talk like that?
Huh?
That's why he talk like that? Because the worm died in it? That's not for real, though.
Yeah, it's for real.
Yeah, he got a worm in his brain, but that ain't why he talk like that. He got vocal cord issues.
You got what?
He got vocal cord issues. His skin ain't right. He probably on testosterone. Something wrong with his liver.
Yeah, and that worm might have got to his vocal cord before it got to his brain.
Was the worm still there?
It's dead.
The worm died.
It died in
his
his brain.
stupid brain killed the worm.
Yeah,
After the worm had his fill, the worm died.
The worm died too soon. That's the only thing I'm saying. The worm
was like, this ain't even worth it.
Let me get the hell out of here.
Worm said, I can't escape. I might well just go die. Hell with it. But the worm did die too soon because he didn't eat enough. So we didn't have to be bothered with it.
I don't know. He might have. Think about it. This is son of Robert Kennedy, right? He hadn't always been like this. Okay, he'd been in politics for a minute, but he hadn't always been like this. And maybe that was the beginning of the end when the worms eat the little brain that he did have. Maybe that's what started causing the turnaround here. Think about it for a minute.
Mr. McIntosh, you mentioned. We only got a few minutes left, so I wanted to just bring this up. You're talking about all the things that are happening, but yet, or maybe it was you, BJ, it's one of you guys, talked about the media failing to report on this stuff while we're not seeing it. And I don't know if you guys saw that it's happening. They're moving over to networks. I don't know if you all saw CBS just hired, they just turned over a new lady, a white lady named Barry Weiss. She was a Jewish woman who went in and fired all the black
The
folks
black.
who worked.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
and then
Black
they,
producers.
and they say Gail Key, but Gail's like, well, I don't know. Y'all saying I'm fired, but they ain't told me I'm fired. So,
Gail gone.
you know, you said what?
I think Gail's gone.
She said she ain't heard that. She ain't been told she been gone. She gone.
Yeah, that's what she said yesterday, that
So
she wants.
everybody's been telling her that she's staying,
They'll
but
tell her tomorrow.
not to go tell her tomorrow. But she just went in and gutted and removed all the
All the black
all the
producers.
black folks, and they gonna have the nerve to say, "Well, yeah, I kept the white people because I know they're not working."
Mhm.
That's just, like, it's crazy, like, to see this, but
They done took over CNN as well.
um,
You ever notice CNN and how
Oh, yeah.
even the traditional hosts that they hadn't really changed their tone and they changed the way they interview now. You know, and then it's amazing. So the only
but
holdout is MSNBC, which now probably is gone because they changing it brand from MSNBC to MS Now.
now, yeah,
So you know, first it's the
Because
media.
these right wing billionaires has bought up all the airways. Now the airways supposed to belong to the people, but they don't. Well, they done bought up all the airways in the country. Uh, you know, NBC, CNN, ABC. What's the one that own mostly all the local ABC station?
Sinclair.
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 Sinclair, Live
Yeah,
Star, or whatever it is,
yeah, right wing.
Next Star, or
Yeah, I mean, they are the. I know a lot of those reporters want to report, but they can't because they're told what they can do and what they can't do. You
you know,
know,
it's funny because, like, I see WEAR, like, they're Sinclair owned, but their reporters, for the most part, are diametrically opposite to the station. You know, they have a lot of left leaning, in my opinion, a lot of left leaning reporters in the station. Just in conversations with them, and you're like, y'all talk about a lot of this stuff, but your reporting is very different. So I always wonder how they reconcile working at the station, knowing this type of station it is.
but the thing about it, they'll come out and interview you, and they'll do the voiceover. You have they came out and interviewed me for about 30 minutes one day, and they had about 30. They didn't even have 30 seconds because they just talked about what I said. They didn't say what I said. They had a voiceover as if I didn't really say anything. I'm like, we talked in the house for 30 minutes. They had about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I had a similar experience when they interviewed me when they did that raid at the landscaping business in Navarre, and it was probably 7 seconds of
Mhm.
a conversation that was way longer than that, and it really wasn't even like the meat of what I said.
Right.
So I was just like, I don't even know if this is worth my time.
No, it's not. That's why. That's why I say we have to build our own media. We have to do it because nothing you say is going to really get out if you are waiting on them to do it, because it's not going to happen, because they done bought up Cumulus on the radios. They done bought them up. Sinclair, the right wing that owns CNN now. MSNBC has changed its name because they're not going to be, probably they done lost affiliation with NBC because I forgot the guy's name that bought that, the billionaire that bought that. So it's just a whole host of programming that they're not going to be allowed to do. And everything is moving toward the lady that's on CBS. she's a total that's gotten rid of all the black. Everybody knows she's a total right wing nut that don't know anything about broadcasting. But she's the one that's going to be over
Okay.
CBS.
Well, speak of, I just wanted to share with you guys because he didn't share, but I would tell you guys, BJ that had his first time his debut on Sunshine show this past week. So if you didn't see it, you should go back and check it out. He did phenomenally well. He even handled some crazy folks who called in very well. He did better than what I do. And I was like, I can't even tell because I'm looking at his facial expressions like, is he going to say, he ain't even do it. I was like, oh, okay. Because I look at the phone sometimes crazy when people say crazy stuff. We're like, what? But he did well. So y'all should go back and check it out.
Well, you got this book, Martin and Malcolm in America. Can y'all see it? And it's a Dream or a Nightmare by James H. Combs. So a real good read. It's how Malcolm and Martin was, they were fighting for the same thing, but from a different perspective. But it's really, really good book.
Well, I do want to make an announcement. Unfortunately, I forgot to tell you, Mr. McIntosh and Mr. Vernon, but we won't be here next weekend. So hopefully you could do, if you don't mind, doing a repeat. We have an all-day meeting on Sunday for the Florida Democratic Party. Starts at 12 o'clock. We're going to be over until 8 or so. So we will have to catch everybody the next week. So we won't see you next week on the 9th, but we will be back together on the 16th. So until that time, have a great week. 2 weeks, everybody. We will see you then and make it a great week. Take care.
Night.